Okay, we've done quite a bit of messing around with the same "Heart's Been Broken" song, and one thing I haven't shown you was one of the mixes I had done. I don't know if this is the final mix or not, but one trick that I used on that was to use more than one reverb on the vocal. Now you got to be real careful. Blending reverbs can be the most awful thing imaginable. You're looking to double the potential for mud and damage and weirdness. But if you are careful and make sure you don't screw anything up, you can really do some cool stuff that just one won't do. So let me play it for you the way I have it now. Hopefully I didn't mess this up earlier. I hear you when you call my name. I feel you, but you know it ain't the same. Okay, there was a few things I wanted to achieve right there. I wanted to have the obvious ambience, and that's, part of the whole 80s thing. But I didn't want it to just be swimming in junk. I didn't want it to be muddy and crappy when it was doing it. To achieve that, I did two different things. I have the UAD EMT 250, which is absolutely awesome with these super spacious type of plate reverbs sounds, and but it's a little bit, I would say, too clear, if that makes any sense. For the 80s thing, I really wanted a little more substance. Too clear is not a good word. Too big might be. I don't know. It's all stupid. Let me just play what I have with just this reverb. I hear you when you call my name. I feel you, but you know it ain't the same. See, it's a little bit too distant. You can really hear it on the tails, and that's good for what I'm wanting, but it doesn't fill out the closer stuff. But I also have a impulse of a Lexicon PCM 90. It's a PCM 60 room. This is a free impulse, by the way. I recommend everybody getting it. And let's listen to that. I hear you when you call my name. When you call my name. And that's definitely not a small room. It's definitely kind of a large, but it doesn't decay near as long. Because I'm using an impulse, I don't have the option of making that room longer. And I don't know if I'd want to. Everything that I hear in this PCM 60 that I'm missing is found in the EMT 250 and vice versa. And so I think that's a big part of why this sound worked for me, was because I intentionally matched these so that they would complement each other. The PCM 60 is more bold and up front and maybe a little bit closer, maybe a little more early reflection heavy and, a little more, I guess, in your face, more obvious. EMT 250 is a little more lush and kind of secrety, which secrety makes sense if you're putting, I don't know, reverb on like rock guitars sometimes, things like that. So you always got to kind of weigh the plus and the minus. But let's hear this vocal soloed with both of them now. When you call my name. And I love that because you can hear, actually make sure I got that right. That's easy to mess up in Cubase. Just in case. Here we go. When you call my name. There we go. That's better. We get the best of both worlds. We get the big spacious thing and the deal up front, and we can control the mix of the two. And while it looks like I'm using similar levels, there's no telling what's actually going on in the processing. I may be using way, having cranked up elsewhere. So play around with multiple reverbs, and this applies to really just about anything. I tend to put more emphasis on it on snare drums, vocals, things that are like reverb dependent. But lead guitars, especially like acoustic leads, kind of like the jazzier kind of thing, can often benefit from this. And also it helps because what I've done is I've really focused on the PCM 60 room impulse. I use that all the time. I love it. And for the past month or two, it's actually been my favorite reverb, which I always change reverbs like every 10 seconds. But by learning that reverb pretty well and having other ideas, other reverbs that I know well, I kind of learn what I can use to complement its shortcomings. So definitely take the time to learn your reverbs and try mixing and matching when one reverb isn't quite doing it. Thanks, guys. Bye.